Hi guys, welcome to today's SetrocJC channel daily video. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Now strap yourselves in, let's get on with today's daily topic. Today's daily topic is slightly different from normal. Today I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you the story of Punch and Judy, which was a traditional seaside culture a few years back. But the reason I'm telling this is because I've just come back from a summer festival here in England, and they had a Punch and Judy performance on, which I stood and watched with my child. So I'd like to share the performance with you and give you a bit of a description of how it goes and what the characters do. So strap yourselves in and get ready for a ride of a lifetime. So the story itself dates back to the 16th century in Italy, and it's basically about a man called Punch and a woman called Judy, hence Punch and Judy. So this woman Judy has married a man named Punch, so I think you can see where this story is going. And this is a kid's story. Let's not forget that this is a kid's story. So when I'm telling this, imagine your kids watching it and imagine what they must be thinking and what they must be learning from this experience. Because when I was watching it, I was certainly learning, because I've never really watched it properly since I was a child. So it starts off with Punch and Judy in the house, and Punch and Judy have this baby. Punch, who is not the most responsible of fathers, is left with a baby. Judy asks him if it's alright if she goes off to buy lunch, or lunch for Punch as he describes it, and Punch says, yeah, that's fine Judy, you go off to the supermarket and get us some lunch. So she goes off and Mr. Punch is left to look after the baby. Now Mr. Punch isn't the most responsible of parents. In fact, the baby would probably be in care if he was the only parent, because the first thing he does is throw the kid through the window. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best parent in the world, but I wouldn't want to throw my kid through a window. And what's this teaching the younger generation? And these kids are like watching this thinking, what's going on here? He's just thrown the kid through the window. So Mrs. Judy comes back from the supermarket, and the first thing she does, obviously like a normal parent would do, is ask where the baby is. And Mr. Punch tells her she's asleep. So Mrs. Judy goes around the house looking for the baby, only to find the baby isn't around, because, as you know, Mr. Punch threw her through the window. And when Judy finds this out, she decides to go and get a big stick, and she decides she's going to batter Mr. Punch with this stick. So she starts smacking him around the head. The kids are loving this, by the way. The kids are cheering, the kids are screaming, the kids are loving Mr. Punch getting smacked around the head by this stick by Judy. But as Mr. Punch is used to this sort of behaviour from his wife, he obviously gets the upper hand. He manages to wrestle the stick from her, and he starts battering Judy with this stick. What's this teaching the kids? Isn't it? It's like, always batter your husband and wives with a stick. So there's a bit of commotion going on. Punch and Judy having a bit of a wrestle. Punch is getting in a few digs. Judy's defending herself quite well, because she's used to this sort of behaviour. And the constable turns up. The constable's not happy. He's definitely not happy about this. So he comes in, he gets his truncheon out and he starts smacking Punch with it. So they're both going about there, they've found at it now. Punch is getting smacked by the blimmin' constable, the copper, the old Bill turn up, the old Biller here. Oh, don't worry, everything's going to be alright now. He starts smacking Punch with his truncheon, Punch is smacking him with a pipe. So meanwhile, I'm stood here watching this, my son sat on my shoulders, we're watching the show, my missus is nudging me in the ribs going, I think he's seen enough, I think he's seen enough. She's getting a panic on, she don't want our son to learn how to learn about this. So why do you want your kid to see their parents fighting with blooming truncheons and pipes and stuff? It's like, it's just really adequate for kids nowadays. It's like, I know it's made out to be a joke, but what are we trying to do? It's like them watching Jeremy Kyle or Jerry Springer before the watershed. It's ridiculous. So she's saying, let's get going, let's get going. I'm saying, hang on a minute, I haven't seen this for a while, I'll not see what's going to happen. He won't remember anyway, he's only young. So let's get back to the story. So the Punch and the bloody constable, they're having a flipping fight, they're having a smacking match with their sticks, and then Punch wins, the constable's on the floor, so the doctor rocks up. The doctor's heard the commotion, he wants to know what's going on, he wants a piece of this action. The doctor comes in, he ain't happy, he sees the constable on the floor, he starts having a go at Mr. Punch. His name's Mr. Punch, just leave him alone, I think he might know what he's doing, being that name, isn't he? You don't want to start a fight with someone called Mr. Punch, you not know anything, doctor. So the doctor has a go at him. He starts trying to hit him with a blimmin' truncheon off the constable. The constable's not happy. He's out, spark out. Mr. Punch ain't happy. He's got another one to deal with. Mr. Punch smacks the doctor with a stick. The doctor goes down. The doctor smacks him back. He's on the floor. He's wrestling with Punch. Punch is smacking him. The doctor's smacking Punch. Everyone's having a raucous right. The crowd's going wild. The kids think this is normal entertainment. It's like, what are you doing? The kids are learning how to beat up people here. This ain't right, is it? What are we teaching them? We can't be teaching our kids this nowadays. It's against the law, surely. So the doctor's no match for Punch. He's sorted him out. The doctor's a goner. And now the devil turns up. The devil ain't happy. He's not happy with this business going on. Mr. Punch has killed a couple of people. The baby's out the window. He's knocked the blimmin' constable senseless. He's beaten his wife up. And now the blimmin' doctor's had it. And here comes the devil. The devil's not happy. The devil comes up to Mr. Punch, and the devil's starting to fight with Mr. Punch now. Mr. Punch is smacking the devil with his blimmin' slapstick and his pipes and all sorts that he can get hold of. Mr. Punch is a dirty fighter. The devil's not happy either. He's got his blimmin' his scythe, or whatever they call it. He's swinging it at Mr. Punch, but this isn't no match for Mr. Punch. He's a seasoned professional. He's had a few fights now. He knows what he's doing. He's got the adrenaline pumping. So the Mr. Punch finishes off the devil as well. He sees him off. So he can't even die, Mr. Punch. He's done all this badness. All the kids have seen him do all this slaughtering. He's killed everyone that he's fought. Everyone's come to the conclusion that Mr. Punch is the best fighter in the world, and everyone's cheering. The kids are cheering. We're all happy about it. Mr. Punch has seen them all off. He's done like murdered about 4 people in about 15 minutes, and everyone's giving him a raucous reception. So I'll leave you all to decide what the moral of that little story was. So the performance has changed a bit over the years. I'm just reading up on it, and it says that Mr. Punch used to have a mistress called Pretty Polly. So not only did he used to teach about battering his wife and killing people and murdering in cold blood, he used to have a mistress as well. So Mr. Punch used to have a bit on the side. So kids are learning about adultery as well at these things years back. We're covering all the bases here. What else we got to cover? Swearing. Why don't he start? They should swear as well. They should do a swearing, Mr. Punch. He was effing and blinding all the time and flipping. What else could he do? Selling drugs. Mr. Flipping Punch should be a drug dealer. He should be a flipping smackhead and a flipping crack addict. That would sort him out as well. Just get the kids learning it all while we're here. Why stop now? Hang on, and he used to have a hangman as well. So the hangman used to come on, try and get Mr. Punch to get Mr. Punch down, chop his head off. But Mr. Punch used to turn it around. He used to get the hangman there, and the hangman used to get his head lopped off. Flipping out. What's the world coming to? Come on, Mr. Punch, you're a hero. Well done, Mr. Punch. So we get to the end, and I don't know what to make of this. My son's just seen 4 people get slaughtered on stage. Even though it's puppets, he's still seeing people getting smashed about with pipes and God knows what. He's seen off a copper. The copper's copped it, hasn't he? And my son doesn't know. He's too young to understand. But some of the kids in the audience are like 4, 5, 6. They might go to school tomorrow and start flipping slapping up about, slapping their other fellow students and stuff. I was surprised. I found it very surprising. I didn't know this stuff still went on. Hope you enjoyed this content, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. I'll catch you in the next video.